Welcome to Dolly Pardon, the sassiest, classiest, and most unfiltered adult collectors podcast.
We are serving up weekly episodes packed with laughs, hot takes, and all of the tea from the world of adult doll collecting. Whether you're into high fashion minis, vintage treasures, or just here for the love of dolls, we've got you covered.
So grab a drink, strike a pose, and let's talk dolls, because collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to take you on a very wild ride. We're going to have to break into multiple episodes because we're going to be talking about none other than the iconic Integrity Toys Sculpts. We're going to explore... I know, isn't it exciting?
So we are going to be reviewing fashion royalty sculpts in alphabetical order. So if you are listening on Spotify, be sure that you click on over to video so you can see what we are talking about and you can look at and review these doll sculpts with us. It's just going to make your experience listening to this so much better.
But first...
save the drama for your mama. This dolly is working 9 to 5.
Oh, that's very good. That's a really good one. There's no amount of customs that can ever match this face.
Dollstagram is like a game of chess, and this diva calls all the moves.
I love that.
So, ladies, we had some really nice feedback from one of our listeners.
Lovely.
I'm going to read this message and I'm going to try and keep it together. This message is from Alex, and I've asked Alex if he's happy for us to mention his name and his account. And I think, it's important because he's got a lovely collection and he's on Bezu's dolls. So I'm just going to read what he says to us. So his answer to our question from episode 2 about their experience, asking the listeners about their experience with doll collecting. And he said, my partner's mom and her sister gave me their childhood 1960s Barbies for Christmas a few years ago, and I started sobbing uncontrollably. I had been shamed my whole life after having a few as a little boy and having them taken from me all at once. Sorry. So it's been so healing listening to you all say it's not sexual. Because it's not. I just love fashion. You three have a very important podcast, I think. I've literally sobbed, and it's just so beautiful. And I think it makes our crazy little project feel so validated. So Alex, thank you so much. I mean, it really means the world, and we all been crying.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. I had I was sobbing reading your comment earlier, and I was talking to Naomi, and she said, nothing you say right now matters until that camera is rolling. So I stopped, but I want to say thank you for sharing. I was looking at our listeners the other day, you guys, and I was just thinking about our listeners almost as like, we got to get our performance up. What can we do to get more listeners? And this just helps me put it into perspective that it's not about getting more and more and more listeners. Like, that's not what this is about. It reminded me that this is about community, and it just reminded me the first reason why we're doing this, and it's just like a reset for me. This is why we're doing this project. And so thank you for the reminder, Alex. It means a lot.
Hi, Alex. Big shout out. I'm so glad that again it resonates, and it's so true, Estefan. This community is something that I've only been a part of for about a year now, but the warmth and the amount that you can give and get from people is ridiculous, and I feel it. Just this morning, someone messaged me saying, hey, I'm going to shoot you over some dolls. You don't have to pay me for them. I think you'll like them. And it's so touching for me because I barely even know some of these people, and they're so ready and they're so quick to just share with you. And I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah. Well, we'll be right back.
On to our first segment of the podcast today, Dolly Pardon Fake News, where we discuss real news for fake bitches. So the topic of today's fake news is going to be the tariff. Mattel warns Trump tariffs will raise prices. Toy making giant Mattel says it may increase its prices in the US to make up for the impact of Donald Trump's tariffs. How do we feel about that? What are we thinking?
I saw that coming, obviously. I don't know why it's such a fucking surprise to so
bet
many
you
people.
did.
And I always see it coming. What's so funny, you guys, my husband is a store manager for a retail store, and he has employees from all walks of life, all different political beliefs, backgrounds, etc. So he had a lot of employees that voted for Trump. And
Okay.
when they were complaining about, prices going up for X, Y, and Z, and my husband brings up the tariffs, they
Yeah.
act like they don't know what a tariff is, or they are learning what a tariff is for the first time. It just goes to show what education is like in America, and it's scary. But
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of sad. It's a step back for adult collectors because something that was booming since COVID, and now it's taking a bit of a hit. And I think it's a shame because we finally felt like as collectors that we were in a safe place, and now it's having a knock-on effect to our money and our collections.
So your concern is that because of the tariffs increasing prices, that Mattel is going to try to reduce quality to try to keep the price down. Is that what your concern is?
I mean, they reducing quality or putting the price up to maintaining the quality that they do have, right? So either way, I feel like we're gonna have to take a bit of a hit with this.
Right.
I feel it would be pretty difficult for Mattel to lower the quality of their products when half of their products have got clothes made of paper and sometimes
Leave no
printed.
crumbs.
And I mean, it's really difficult, and very selfishly, as somebody who lives in the UK, I feel for us collecting is already very expensive, even collecting Barbie.
Yes,
And we pay already
100%.
premium for these dolls. So I know nothing about running a business, of course, but I do feel like if they had a better way of dispatching products for European collectors, they could possibly make their money back that way instead of
Yeah,
having to ship everything back to America and then having to, from there, ship it to the rest of the world. So we're not impacted by the tariffs. We don't have a tariff with China. So our commercial reports with China haven't changed. But we're still impacted because we purchased quite a lot of stuff from you guys. And in this particular case, collecting is going to become even more expensive. And not only for Mattel, it will be the same for
Integrity
Integrity
Toys.
Toys. It will be the same for
yeah,
every other line. It's going to be sad. And I think when our bucks, when our money doesn't run very far anymore,
yeah,
Uh-huh.
having to cut on that kind of expense
yeah.
is going to be really tough. And I think some people are going to have to make serious decisions whether going ahead collecting is a viable option.
I just hope the quality doesn't get worse. I just don't want them to cut any more corners because I feel like Mattel is finally starting to improve on their quality. So I would
Step
just
their
hate for
pussy
them.
Yeah,
up.
Exactly.
yeah,
I would just hate for them to regress back into that garbage that they were giving us
yeah.
for so long. You know what I mean?
Yes.
On to the next topic, shall we?
We'll be right back. Well, now for the main topic of the day, the Dolly Parton review. We're going to be reviewing the most iconic sculpts from Integrity Toys. Today we're going to start with fashion royalties, and we're going to start with Mrs. Adele Makeda herself. I strongly recommend, guys, that you open your video if you're following us on Spotify. Otherwise, you're going to miss out. There's 3 pictures of Adele. There's an Adele 1.0, an Adele 2.0, and an Adele 3.0. So let's start with 1.0. How do you guys feel about this sculpt? I mean, she's iconic, but ugh.
Okay, so in order from left to right, I feel like 1.0 is Adele's natural face. I feel like this is, in my opinion, the most beautiful Adele. 2.0, I feel like she got a little snatched. She got like maybe like a little work done, and there's a little something
Mm.
different there. And then 3.0 is my least favorite sculpt. This is like Adele, like maybe like in her like late 60s, and she's had a ton of work done. And this is that's what Adele is giving on 3.0. I personally love 1.0 the best.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I feel like it's the softest in my opinion.
Oh God.
I probably will agree. However, I out of these images, I think the middle Toast to Us Adele is probably my favorite, and I think it's the muted makeup for me. But I do think that the faces of Adele is that 1.0.
But
Is that 1.0?
Raj, we're talking about sculpt and not screening. So don't let the makeup blind you. Like we're not looking at like eyeshadow, nothing like that. Like the actual like sculpt of the face.
Yeah, I think no. Then in which case, it's Toast to Us Adele is my favorite. I feel like
Okay.
2.0.
2.0.
Mm-hmm.
She seems the most snatched, the most. I don't know. I like her face seems more svelte.
Yeah. I think it's refined, the word that you're looking for.
Yes.
1.0 is a bit cartoonish for me. There isn't much definition in her sculpt. And the only
Mm-hmm.
reason why this particular Adele looks nice in terms of her face in 1.0 is because the screening is really good. But I don't think she's particularly. I mean, I don't like the sculpt. I'm not a
I'm
fan
so
of
glad that you
1.0.
didn't use Naomi, I'm so glad that you didn't use the screening from the legendary
Oh
convention, the
my
Style
God.
Lab.
Oh my God.
This like
Oh my God.
wait, hold on.
She
Oh,
Yeah,
you guys can't
I
she
want to see.
see.
is I know her far too well.
Hold on.
She is
Okay. Okay. I
I
see it.
so
I
remember
see it.
this was almost like this was like almost a meme back whenever it
Oh
first launched. It was
oh
no.
she's
so funny,
Oh,
but yeah,
oh
that was a
Adele.
very unfortunate screening on the 1.0
yeah,
sculpt.
I feel sorry for her. That is like horrible. Moving
I mean,
on.
before you jump across, I
Oh,
do think that 2.0 has the best nose.
yeah,
Compared
yeah.
to the other two. I think that
Yeah,
makes it for me.
she's had plastic surgery a couple of times.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
By the time
hmm
she gets to the faces of Adele, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
That's Agnes von Weiss. She is one of the most iconic sculpts for IT.
Really? Really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of
Ag-
Agnes. I like to say that.
Agnes
Yeah,
is popular. She's not my favorite or Naomi's favorite, but she is a W Club
Oh,
Integrity Toys fan favorite. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so we
Okay.
she's only got one sculpt, so there's only one rendition of Agnes.
Really?
But I've
Okay.
used three different eras of IT here, so you can see the most regional fashion royalties with Firefly,
Yeah.
where it's a bit more, I would say, late 2000s with that skirt and boots, literally screaming Serena Wonderwoods. And so then we have Optic Verve, which I think is pretty. But I think my
Hmm.
personal favorite, the reason why I put her here, is Devotion. And she is stunning. I love a smoky eye. I love the Indian reminiscence with the tikka and the coca. It's just insane. She just screaming the
I'm.
Raj.
I'm. No. I'm so glad you used the correct names there for the jewelry. Is this
Again,
devotion?
she's multicultural,
Yes,
baby.
she is. Yes, she is. The devotion is that part of the Lotus? Is it the Lotus collection?
Yeah, yes,
Ah,
yes.
that collection. As someone who's, my parents are Indian. I was born in the UK, but seeing my culture represented in one of the most beautiful and elegant ways in the Lotus collection is one of the reasons that I'm collecting today. And so, I mean, I'm not a huge Agnes fan, but oof, oof.
This is a good one. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
She is
It's so
gorgeous.
lovely.
And she's so expensive.
She looks it. She looks it.
Okay, we have Miss Anja Christensen herself. Now, I've chosen her very first rendition and then a couple more that I think are a bit more flattering for her. So, first of all, shall we talk of the new fantasy release, Shamara Simi Partenopus? What do you guys think of her? How do we feel about Anja? She's a very slutty devil.
I've never seen her before, like this face sculpt. I don't think I've ever seen her before.
By the way, I think her name is Anya, not Anja. I'm just being very ignorant.
She's pretty, don't get me wrong. I don't feel like I've seen much of her. I mean, this is maybe a question for later, but why are some sculpts more popular than others?
Because they sell more. Simple as that.
So does Anya not sell very well? Because I've yet to see her as often as Agnes.
Yeah, probably doesn't sell
she's
as
very
much.
popular.
There's nothing in her face that seems unique to me. Like Agnes is to me, like Agnes's nose position and like her eye depth is a little bit like more unique. This doll doesn't have like a super unique face in my opinion, and I honestly sometimes I hate criticizing sculpts because I would hate for anyone who feels like they look like a certain doll, to feel like I'm like criticizing their face. I just don't feel like there's anything super unique about this sculpt.
No, I agree. She's giving generic.
Reductive.
No. No, just generic. Like, I wouldn't immediately assume she was an IT doll. I think this in sequence version gives JHD, which isn't a bad thing. It's just not straight away IT for me.
Oh, okay. So I love Emmeline. I am a bit Emmeline girl. Emmeline originally came as a 16 inches doll, and then
16.
Is it 16? Yeah, the big ones. Yeah, there was 16 inches. They were pretty big. Yeah. And
wait, what was 16 inches?
The original Emmeline.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, listeners. Estefan had 16 inches and my mind
was in the gutter. Oh my gosh.
So, Emmeline, we can see 3 different types of Emmelines. I love Emmeline. I personally have the last 2. I don't have Celebrations because she is a bit difficult to get a hold of. Yeah, what do you girls think of her?
Again, I think that she has a unique face, but I don't think it's just not a face that I really love. I feel so bad commenting on sculpts. I really do. But I just don't think that it's super pretty.
Oh.
I don't
Shade sound.
agree, but I don't love her. She looks like she's some
Her bottom lip looks like she's like sucking it in. Like, do you know like when people are like sucking on ice or something?
Yes. Okay.
Like,
yeah, if 100%. You give her a can and a straw, and it will make sense.
Yeah, like it looks like she's like sucking on like a mint or something.
She probably has.
No, I don't dislike her. I especially like the fall 2019. The skin tone, I think, does wonders for her face.
She's gorgeous. I'm obsessed with her. I love my, fall 2019. She looks beautiful.
I can hear a cat.
Yeah.
Is that your pussy purring over Emily?
Guys, wish you could see.
I can just hear Naomi talking about Emily and how much she loves her, and then I can just hear like a cat purring, and I was like, oh god, yeah.
Naomi, I did not know that you had a little lesbo in you.
I always do, darling.
Love that.
Oh.
So she's Bina Park. Bina Park has only ever had one release by in 2 different colors. She uses Ayumi 2.0 Sculpt. 2.0? 3.0? I can't remember.
I was at the curated event that she was released at, and I remember people were very excited about her. I did buy her for the dress. I know we're talking about sculpts, but when she was released, I was this gorgeous like Schiaparelli tribute, and I was obsessed with it, and I had to have it. And I didn't keep the doll because her eyebrows really bothered me. Her eyebrows were like really like close together, and it looked like she's like squinting, like looking far away at something, and I didn't like that.
I mean, there is a method in the madness. Is it George Clooney says that whenever he was asked to take a photo, he would act as if he was looking in the distance and giving directions. and that's his signature look, was to like have his eyes slightly squint. So maybe that works for some. I mean, I've never seen her before, but I think she's pretty. Does she scream out to me? Maybe not so much. I
Excuse
think,
me, ma'am, where's the toilet?
yeah.
Yeah, I would be curious to see if there's only been one screening
Yeah.
with this with Been a Park, so I would like to see another screening and then play with the eyebrows a little bit more.
I'm over reusing Ayumi sculpts for other characters. Please stop doing that.
Okay. Sorry. Gay gasp for all our listeners.
You talk about her, Raj.
It's Mothership. I just saw Mothership, and
Who is she? Tell us, who is she?
I listen. I love all my loves who are listening. I have no idea who Mothership is.
You're
but
such a
every time
dumb
I
bitch.
see
It's
her,
written on the top
I-
left.
Okay, no, I know it's there, but that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know enough about.
Well, just
them.
tell us who
Raj,
the fuck
right?
she
Raj,
is.
we're asking
Okay.
you to say the fucking name.
Oh, I see.
You're such a dumb bitch. Jesus.
this is Dania Zar. Dania?
Oh, thank God.
Immediately drawn to the Mothership, and I mean, I can push the other two like the dolls aside and just focus on Mothership. But please tell me more about Dania.
Dania is meant to be in the law of IT. She's meant to be like the Oprah Winfrey, the interviewer, the journalist.
Oh,
Exclusive Interview was, I think, one of her first releases, if not her first. Not a fan of it, but Irresistible is, oh my God, that face. I'm obsessed. I don't care for Mothership, but Irresistible, are we even kidding?
I mean, Exclusive Interview is also quite nice. I just absolutely hate the outfit. From the neck up, if you focus on the sculpt, it's actually quite nice. She has really nice cheekbones, a thick lip. I'm a fan.
You're perfect. You're beautiful. You look like Linda Evangelista. You're
Yeah, Danya.
I'm just
I
not
think
gonna say
that
nothing.
she looks like a gorgeous woman. There's nothing that's really exciting for me here. I don't have any Danya in my collection.
Okay, well, moving on. Okay, that's Dasha d'Amboise. She is.
She to me looks really beautiful, especially in the middle, the Daydream.
Yes,
This to
agreed.
me looks like a supermodel. If I were
Yeah.
like scrolling through like the pages of Vogue right now, I would see a model that looks like this. Even the one on the right, actually, too, female icon, very like striking. She looks like windswept, you know what I mean? Like, but
Mhm.
naturally, it's not like got a ton of surgery. Like, this is like she has an angular, almost like alien looking face that I think is really cool looking.
I'm inclined to agree. I think Daydream is the one that, when I look at the sculpt, that I feel like I can see the makeup of what she looks like. With female icon, she looks a bit washed out. She looks a bit like a ghost. I think that the dress doesn't help.
I see what you're saying.
Special mention to Pinky Parker in
Oh,
his
gosh.
brown era.
Gosh.
Oh. So if Pinky Parker is the pink, then this one is the stink. Two in the pink,
It's
one
a-
in the stink.
Yeah.
It's probably
this
Brownie
is-
Punker.
Yeah, this is Brownie Barker.
Brownie
Brownie.
Barker. So this is
Okay.
Elise Jolie.
My eye is immediately going to this Divinely Luminous. Integrity Toys, we need more of this. Just
Yeah.
release this collection again at this point, or just
Yes.
recreate this entire collection because we absolutely need this. The ensemble is beautiful.
It's
but
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm also really going into the face and the screening too. What I love the most and what I'm looking at first is this eyebrow. It's like a hairy
Mhm.
eyebrow. And it's so beautiful. It's like full. It's gorgeous. The colors are
Natural.
incredible. Yeah. And the accessories are beautiful. Raj, you can speak a little bit more knowledgeably about these, though.
Yeah, they're very bridal. A lot of the jewelry, the way she has a scarf around her head is also very bridal. But I just need to point out, Divinely Luminous next to Key Pieces looks like two different dolls. I thought Blue Blood was Agnes at first. It's so interesting how the sculpts are so, depending on the screening, how fluid they are and how much they change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Totally. I don't like Elise Jolie. I really don't like her. Uh, I mean, I would definitely get Divinely Luminous because it's a beautiful doll, but I do not like Elise Jolie as a sculpt, and I think I'll be very happy. I mean, these are the best three that I could find on the website. I quite frankly do not feel like she's a good sculpt at all. She looks like an Agnes that had the Lipo 360 a bit too far.
Yeah.
You're
Um,
right. Actually, you're right, Naomi. I would only be interested in adding an Elise Jolie to my collection if it was Divinely Luminous. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now to Eugenia Perrin Frost. She's definitely one of the most popular sculpts.
I can see why.
On the left, Raj, you can see Going Public, which is actually
Mhm.
the very first W Club upgrade doll.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, what do we think about her?
I don't know. It's just like her styling of her hair, but why does her jaw seem so square on the left-hand side where it looks a lot softer in the second and third photos? These are all the same sculpt?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she had different mLs of Juvederm.
Yeah, I that happens to me sometimes too. I understand. Okay. She's cute. I don't have
So-
any of
Yeah.
her in my collection though.
She's a slippery slope, Eugenia, because there's some Eugenias that are really expensive, and
Mhm.
I do like Eugenia as a sculpt. I've chosen three here that I feel are more representative of what she looks like. I particularly like Modernist. I think she's very pretty. I know she wasn't particularly popular, but I do really like Modernist. And Monegasque, which means people that live in Monaco, is actually very pretty. The color of the hair is gorgeous on her. I think the sculpt is beautiful, and I understand why she's so popular.
I am inclined to agree. I do like her. I think that seeing her squareness of her jaw is probably the showstopper of what her sculpt is. And the Monegasque Society doll is stunning. In so many ways, they did justice to Eugenia here. I'm a
You
fan.
think? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, now this is gonna
What
be a bit
the
shady.
hell? Yeah, what is this?
Okay, so Finley Prince, she isn't very popular, poor soul. I don't think her mother loves her either. There hasn't been many releases of hers. I think the reason why she isn't very popular is because she's smiling.
So one time, you guys,
Oh.
one time I got something done called a lip flip, and that's where they put Botox in your like upper lip. So it controls how big that you can smile. So if you like try to like smile or like laugh, it's not like showing a lot of your gums.
Yeah,
And
gummy smile.
if I was cracking up, this is how big my mouth would be moving. So to me, it looks like she's had a lip flip, and she on Audacious, she is cracking up to the point of tears. That's what it looks like to me. I don't. I think a lot of people just don't like open mouth smiles, especially with integrity toys. And so I think
Yeah.
that's why she's not popular.
Especially Touch of Whimsy. I don't know why, but it's giving Willy Wonka and Chocolate
she's New
Factory to me.
Fantasy.
Okay. And which one's New Fantasy again?
Is the line with a bit of like a fairy tale, legendary kind
okay.
of like thing? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think she's meant to be you're a wizard, Harry. She's meant to be like a. she's meant to be a. She's meant to be a wizard or something. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, sashay away, Finley. Right. Next to Isabella Alves. So she's only had 3 releases. I really like Isabella. I think she's very pretty. Funny enough, I feel Glorious Vanity as a doll, not as an outfit, is actually her best release. She is absolutely gorgeous.
This is so true. And I agree with you completely, Naomi. This is the best iteration of Isabella that we've had so far. And it just goes to show how distracting that the clothes can be from the doll. Like, if you are a beautiful doll and you have hideous clothes, sometimes no one will buy that doll, but then you will see these gorgeous pictures of this doll on Instagram, and then you'll be like, what doll is that? And you'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember it was this doll that I didn't buy because her outfit was hideous, and I should have bought her because she's beautiful.
I can't believe you're showing me the same sculpt. They look like three different sculpts. And I don't know if that's because of the hair, the skin tone, the screening, or what. But I love how versatile she is.
She's beautiful. Next.
Oh, sorry, jump scare.
Okay, right.
Naomi, why did you put the picture of Michael Jackson in here?
Yeah.
That's BS.
Oh my
I
God.
love everyone.
I think we can move on. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. This is like
Iselin or whatever the hell she's called. There's only been one of her for good reason. She's had buccal fat removal maybe 3 or 4 times. I wouldn't be surprised if the woman is dead, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, she looks like she's sick.
Coronavirus.
yeah, she's giving very sad Twilight extra.
I
That's
agree.
the skin of
That
a
shit,
killer,
but
Bella.
yeah, but this shit does sparkle. Oh, but you know what? She's not actually that bad. I think that the makeup, the screening does not suit her sculpt.
Yeah.
Raj, you're just looking at her too long. She's bad.
Yeah. Next.
Mm.
Ooh, girl.
Yes.
Okay, now I love her. I've been trying to get one of her because Miss Isha Kalpana Narayanan is actually fabulous. So Riveting Premiere is her first release, and you can tell that she just arrived on that flight from Mumbai. She just stepped out of the plane, and very Priyanka Chopra when she arrived, to marry Nick Jonas. Very pedestrian, very 2009, and we stand that. But look at Seeing Steeler. That face.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That is a stunning face.
Obsessed. Like, literally obsessed. Divinity is still part of the Secret Lotus collection, and you can tell how.
Yes, you can.
And I just have to point out the henna is my favorite detail on Divinity. Like, that is incredible. The detail that's on there. I mean, her face is incredible. The nose piercing is a really nice touch. I love that. But the henna is stunning. I love Divinity.
For our viewers that cannot see the video right now, Raj is actually wearing the same outfit.
Who worked best? Me.
And Raj actually looks just as good, if I can say so.
Oh,
And now for our next segment. Bitch stole my look.
Yeah. I have to talk about Divinity here because not only is she stunning, but she's giving a true depiction of what Bollywood actresses look like now. They have that like clear flame. That was me gushing.
Wait, what?
What was that?
What did you do?
It wasn't me.
What?
It was a liquid sounding.
Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm filling up my water bottle.
I thought I flooded my basement. I was like, dang, what happened?
Oh my god, you guys. Oh my gosh. I was filling up my water bottle. I'm so sorry.
Raj said it's running clear.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Raj, as you were saying about Divinity, go ahead.
So Divinity is a really good depiction of what Bollywood actresses look like now. They look classic. The makeup is very on point. And to think that this is all from the same collection is ridiculous to me. I mean, Indian beauty standards are questionable because there's lots of issues around skin tone But I think she gives a very balanced skin tone, especially her first iteration.
Okay, this is Jordan Duval, and she shares her sculpt with another couple of characters. I think this is the 1.0. And I've chosen one that represents me, fait accompli, and then Sweet Venom that is very much Estefan, slutty, decked in leather, ready to whip and use a giant dildo.
With a bold lip, can we
With a
add?
bold lip.
Yeah.
And then one that is ready to kill vampires that very much represents Raj. So what do you guys think of her?
Raj, I mean, Naomi. I don't know why I called you Raj. But I think Sweet Venom is absolutely my favorite doll out of the three. So I'm glad that you assigned that one to me. It's stunning, like
She's
incredible.
a whore.
Actually, I haven't. This is my first time actually seeing this doll, and I actually want to go buy her now. I'm gonna go look her up.
Yeah. She's giving like Shea Coulee. She's giving like dominatrix. I love
She's
her.
giving
I definitely think
prostitute.
maybe I will say the sculpt suits darker skin tone. I feel like compared to Fete Accompli, which what does that mean? She's not a bad face sculpt, but the iterations of her with darker skin tones seem more striking.
I agree with you, Raj. I think that the darker skin tones suit her a lot better than the lighter skin tone.
Yeah, I quite like the all guns blazing. They've done a really good job with her.
Okay, so we are going in alphabetical order, if you guys haven't noticed. And next up is Ksenia Valentinova, but that is going to be the next time that we review Fashion Royalty Sculpts. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to be going over not only all the Fashion Royalty Sculpts, we'll eventually get into all of the new face sculpts. And believe it or not, Poppy Parker does have more than one sculpt in their franchise as well, so we can review that too. So we will continue this segment in the future.
Tell us which one is your favorite out of all these sculpts.
Out of the ones that we've seen today, my favorite is Isha, I must say.
I'm going to say Isha as well.
Okay. I'm going to say Eugenia, but there was one more. The one with the darker skin tone, the last one we saw.
Jordan.
Yes. I would say, especially in the darker skin tone, 100%.
We'll be right back after a short break.
All right, so not only do we want to know our listeners' favorite sculpts from Fashion Royalty, but I also want to know their theories on why we see so many of the same characters and sculpts all the time. Of course, number one reason has to be that those are the most popular and what sell the most. But I know a lot of longtime W Club members are just getting tired of seeing like repetition, and some of them are even leaving the W Club and not rejoining this year. What do you two think that we need Integrity Toys to do to keep things fresh while still making a business out of this and making sales happen?
Before I answer that, what dolls do we see or what sculpts do we see the most that would, get people to not want to rejoin the W Club? Why is it that there are more dolls than others apart from sales? Is it a sculpt thing? Is it an outfit thing? Is it a collection thing?
I'll answer this. A lot of people are tired of seeing so much Poppy Parker. We actually have a ton of Poppy Parker, but that is really what sells the most out of all of the lines in Integrity Toys. So Poppy Parker is the most popular. A lot of people who collect maybe some Poppy Parker, but they like a lot of other things, they're disappointed at how much saturation Poppy Parker gets. But also, you're seeing like the same like 5 characters, and they feel like it's just a lot of the same thing. It feels uninspired, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I personally feel there's certainly a marketing strategy around the characters chosen for the releases. And I think IT does it in a way that tries to bring something new, but they also try and give you the familiar sculpts. So even the new characters that we've seen this year, for example, the Novi, Yuri, and Kumi. Yes, Yuri and Kumi are a new sculpt. but how reminiscent are they of Ayumi? And Novi is literally Ayumi 3.0, if I'm not wrong. So they're giving you popular sculpts with tweaks here and there just to keep you in a familiar headspace when it comes to what they are presenting. And that is all to do with the fact that people don't like changes that much. They say that they do, but I don't think they actually would engage with change too well. Isabella Alves was a new sculpt and she isn't very popular. They were lucky with Alejandra, for example, from a few years ago, and she became super popular.
Instant popularity with Alejandra.
Instant popularity. But it's very rare the new sculpts become that popular. So yeah, I think they are trying to give you a bit of familiarity when it comes to what they're putting on the market to sell, because they have to sell.
Okay, listeners, so let us know what you think that IT needs to do to keep things fresh. And what were the golden days of Integrity Toys? If you've been collecting Integrity Toys for a long time, what was the best era?
In the words of Adele, this is the end. So that was fun. So guys, that's the end of this podcast. Well, now it's up to you. Tell us what your opinions, what your thoughts, what your ideas were. And you can find us on Dolly Pardon the Podcast on Instagram and Dolly Pardon the Podcast at gmail.com. But also you can find each of us on our private account.
You can join my 55 followers on House of Kismet, haus.of.kismet.
You can follow me at Plastic Poppy on Instagram and on YouTube.
And you can find me at House of Deluge on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, just like teenagers do. Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.